Okay, it doesn't get any bigger than this, and usually I don't admit that until the third day. After failing to break above this key Fibonacci level on these shorter time frames, Bitcoin now has done it, and is it now initiating the old 1-2 skidoo? And after coming closer than ever to $50,000, is Bitcoin absolutely ready to break $50,000 once and for all? This pattern says yes, but as always, is there more to the story? And as well, we're going to be talking about if this bull run could be fundamentally and technically different from every other Bitcoin bull run, and I'll be giving you my opinion on if that makes sense or if it's an absolute load of gamer girl bathwater. Yummy, sign me up. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Spencer Spladoosh, and when Bitcoin makes moves like this, let's just say it's hard to keep my Spladoosh in my caboose. Oh wow, we're going to be jumping in and analyzing Bitcoin on these charts and some other very interesting, telling, absolutely critical charts that we need to be oogling in addition to Bitcoin's chart to try to get the best idea of what is happening here, because this is still absolutely crazy. Even though Bitcoin's momentum seems to have really, it's not as explosive on a day-to-day basis. Even though that's the case, Bitcoin has set new all-time highs consistently over the past few weeks, and even as recently as the last 24 hours, coming as close as it has ever come to that big round level of 50,000 US dollars. And as well, guys, we're going to be talking about a fundamental and technical idea for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies this cycle that will surely make you a very, very happy camper. Well, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, make sure to subscribe, and as always, make sure to leave your comment below to enter for a hardware wallet equivalent in BTC or access to T4. And as well, if you absolutely love gainers and you just don't even care who knows it, make sure to turn on those post notifications so you get updated when we post these absolute jaw-dropping, absolute savage updates. And without any further gagoosh, let's dive in. Wow, so if we start off here just with the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see Bitcoin was able to actually capture a pretty nice amount of dominance, jumping from about, late last night, about 59% all the way up to about 62%. So a multi-percent increase here for Bitcoin dominance just within the last 24 hours, and that is heavily indicated by the fact that altcoins received a little bit of a pullback. A lot of these top alts are in the middle of a little bit of a pullback, but Bitcoin, yet again, setting a new all-time high recently. And what exactly is Bitcoin doing? So we're going to be getting our weekly close for Bitcoin in just moments. As I'm recording this video, it is only a mere couple hours away, and it'll be very telling for Bitcoin's price. Obviously, this weekly candle has been magnificent. Last week's candle was actually magnificent as well after we held for 3 weeks at our key fib level that is right around 32,000 US dollars. So very good for Bitcoin. Everything's looking very good. But now, are we in fact in the middle of a bullish pattern, or are we actually getting ahead of ourselves and Bitcoin could initiate a short-term pullback? And just what incarnation is going on with these altcoins? So if we take a look on this 1 hour chart, you can see the biggest thing that's happened, in my opinion here, is that for the last 5 days, Bitcoin was being held down by this fib level, the 1.414, which we've been covering for the past 5 days here. Which is our next big level on these fib levels that we've been looking at here. Again, haven't even touched these charts in a few weeks in terms of this fib level here, but it's right around like the $48,500 level, which as I'm recording this video, we're literally backtesting it right now after breaking above it for the first time. So very big stuff. And you can see here, we had a little bit of a move from about 48 to all the way up to our all-time high of about 49,700 US dollars. So we came within $300 of 50,000 US dollars. But the more interesting thing about this is if this is in fact an ascending triangle, which in my opinion, it very, very likely could be, right? This is 5 days of data now we've been trading in. So a decent size, not the biggest pattern, but 5 days is more than enough to initiate a breakout here. But you can see we did have that move up here after we crossed back above some of these short-term moving averages. And now we're kind of just backtesting this key area of right around 48,200 to 48,500, everywhere in that range. So between the range of about 48,200 to 48,500 is basically right where this fib level is, and is also the very top of this ascending triangle. So we'll take a look at that on some other charts as well, but you can see that here. One of the main things we talked about in yesterday's video is the fact that holding this 21 moving average here on this 4 hour chart could initiate a nice pump, and we did get a pump. However, it didn't go all the way up to our next fib level of roughly about, a little over 50,000 US dollars, but we cannot expect Bitcoin to just absolutely shoot through $50,000 this quickly. I personally think it will be happening this month. As I said, I personally think it's very, very likely the second half of this month. And basically tomorrow marks the second half of this month. So this new weekly candle that we're going to be getting for Bitcoin that will be starting starting in a few hours, is technically the second half of this month. If we go to the 6-hour chart, you can see it illustrated pretty nicely here. Same thing here. We're basically just seeing an ascending triangle formation and the beginnings of a breakout. Now again, I personally wouldn't be surprised if we had maybe one more pullback down to that $46,000, $47,000 area over the next 24, 48 hours, and then even getting another attempt. Okay, I think that's very, very likely, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as we hold above 45 at the very lowest, 45,000 US dollars, then this pattern is intact, and we have the ability in the short term to actually initiate another breakout move for Bitcoin. And guys, with that being said, if Bitcoin's going to be breaking $50,000 within the next few days, we also have to realize what that means. It most likely means that if Bitcoin's going to be breaking the huge level of 50,000 US dollars for the first time in history, then again, we need to pull back and wait a little bit. We cannot expect altcoins to start exploding if Bitcoin's breaking 50,000 US dollars. So just keep that in mind. If Bitcoin gets rejected here and say, we go below 45, or if we just continue to consolidate sideways within this pattern, and we just maybe even just pull back within this fib level, or just even hold along this fib level, then we maybe could see alts continue to run, as we've seen pretty often over the last few days, or pretty significantly over the last few days. As you can see, this is the daily altcoin chart, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days of the entire altcoin market cap doing very, very well. And this is our first red candle in a week. So again, if Bitcoin actually is able to form and actually break out of this pattern within the next 24, 48 hours, then we shouldn't expect altcoins to be exploding. Again, it'll mainly be Bitcoin's game for this amount of time, but I think it'll be really interesting if we do see Bitcoin break above 50K, because if it breaks above 50K, I think there's a very good chance we're going to be going at least to 54, 55,000 US dollars. So all I'm saying there is if we actually do break 50,000 US dollars, what I think is in store is a nice quick pump, okay? Multiple $1,000s above 50,000 US dollars. So what we've seen is at these big even levels, Bitcoin will trade, right under them for a fair amount of time, but then as soon as it actually breaks those levels, there's usually a pretty big pump. Immediately. There's usually a pretty big multi-$1,000 pump immediately. That's exactly what we saw back here when we actually broke 20K, right? We were just trading right underneath 20,000 for like 4 weeks. And then as soon as we broke it, the juice was absolutely let loose. Within 3 weeks after breaking 20K, we were already at like 35K. So we had already almost doubled in just a few weeks after we finally broke 20,000 US dollars. And so yeah, it's very clear Bitcoin looks bullish. Even as altcoins have been doing really well, you would think that Bitcoin might just keep trading sideways and just not set new all-time highs, but almost every single day Bitcoin has been setting new all-time highs. You can see it here on this daily chart. We had an all-time high here on February 8th. Then the next day we had a pullback, but we actually set a new all-time high before that. And then we had 1 day of consolidation. And then the day after that, yet another new all-time high. Then the day after that, another new all-time high. Then 1 day of consolidation. And then today, yet another new all-time high. So within the last 7 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 7 days have been new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So of the last week, Bitcoin has been setting a new all-time high almost every single day. So my point there is just that Bitcoin is still extremely strong, even as the altcoins are also really picking up a lot of steam, right? We had Chainlink set a new all-time high just recently. Ethereum has been setting a new all-time high like over the last few days. XTZ, ADA, all of these top alts, most of these top alts are setting new all-time highs. And still, Bitcoin is also setting new all-time highs. So again, very, very explosive stuff, very, very interesting stuff. And as well, guys, I wanted to touch on this idea, is Bitcoin actually fundamentally this time going to be shifting into a different environment where we don't necessarily have these 4-year cycles? I think that if it were the case that Bitcoin breaks this 4-year cycle, the main reason would be way too much money coming in. And where's the only place that, billions and billions and billions of dollars can start flooding into Bitcoin? That's right. Fundamentally, it would be these institutions. If banks really start allocating, 10, 20%, 20% of their capital into Bitcoin, then I see no way that Bitcoin could just stick to these cycles, because all of these previous cycles have been largely based on retail. We have never had Wall Street or hedge funds pouring in large amounts, massive amounts of money into Bitcoin like we're seeing over the past few months. So if that does continue to happen, and if we just continue the trend that we've been on so far the first month and a half of 2021, then I see no way that these cycles could just be an exact repeat of what they've done before. It doesn't make any sense. fundamentally the space is doing something it's never done before and getting involved some of the biggest players, or actually literally the biggest players in finance, period, in the entire planet Earth. So if they continue to pile into Bitcoin, right, if we're continuing to see so much capital from these big players, not just retail, jumping into Bitcoin, then I just don't see how we could just see the exact same structure repeat for Bitcoin. You know, maybe say we run up for a couple more months and then have another 2-year bear market. I just don't see how that could happen if fundamentally the space is changing and we have MasterCard and Visa and all of this mainstream adoption, PayPal, all of these huge news items that we've seen. If all of that's happening, I just don't see how. I just don't even see how it would be possible that we could just, only expect a couple more months of explosiveness to the upside and then 2 years potentially of a bear market. This could be the first time that it fundamentally changes. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm just saying if there's anything that makes sense to me, if we do continue this trend of institutions jumping into Bitcoin and even just retail getting more interested, because again, I saw a statistic somewhere, I'm pretty sure less than 1% of the planet has cryptocurrency. So a lot of people have heard of it, but there are plenty of people that are just still not exposed to Bitcoin. They're still not invested into cryptocurrency. So let's say we get those numbers pumped up to 5, 10, let's say even say 15, 20% over the next few years. I just think that it makes zero sense to expect that Bitcoin will just follow the exact same trends that it's been following for the past decade, right? I think at some point things could change. And that's good, because ideally that's exactly what you would want, because that's what true adoption would look like. Because again, if there's only 1-2% of the world invested in crypto, guys, that is not yet true adoption. Wow, so let's pick a winner for this webisode. Okay, so video number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will copy the link address here, and then we will pick the winner. Whoever the winner is, make sure to leave me a comment below responding to your winning comment, and also just shoot me an email below, and yeah, we'll see who the winner is. So it looks like there's, holy moly, 650 comments. That's absolutely insane. And the winner is Ken Coughlin. Get well soon to you. Absolutely, Ken. I'm feeling much better so far. Hopefully that'll continue. But Ken, make sure to shoot me an email and make sure to respond to your winning comment. And yeah, we can get you that Ledger equivalent BTC or access to T4. And as well, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And if you're interested in trading, make sure to take advantage of our trading bonuses below with Bybit and Femex. Limited time only, experienced traders only, and also if you want to support the channel.